Doctors.
Yes, sister. Sister, gestational diabetes.
Okay, gestational diabetes. Oh, when you can mention as many as you can. Okay. All right. Sylvia.
Sister, anemia in pregnancy. Malaria in pregnancy.
Malaria in pregnancy. Good. Kasim.
Please, APH.
The disease condition that can claim the life of the mother.
Antipartum hemorrhage.
What was
Hello?
Intrauterine fetal death, sister.
Okay. Intrauterine fetal death, IUD. We are talking about diseases, morbidity. Intrauterine fetal death, is it a disease? A person who came... Okay, she's gone. Letitia.
Sister,
Letitia.
please.
Yes.
Yes, sister, please. Pepper sepsis or infection. Then DIC.
DIC. Okay. So we are looking at some of the diseases that can claim the life of the mother or the pregnant woman during the antenatal period. All right. So when you go to especially the antenatal clinic, we normally calculate morbidity of some of the diseases that we encounter at the antenatal clinic. So let's look at some of the disease conditions that we normally identify in our workplace. Please, I'm sharing the screen. Abby, are they receiving it? All right.
Yes, sister.
Okay. So some of the examples, I think you have mentioned most of them. Anemia, diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases, infections, malaria infection, pepper sepsis, cancers, obesity, which increase the mother's risk of getting diabetes, and then lungs diseases, such as asthmatic attack. So we are looking at some of the diseases that can affect pregnancy, okay? And when we look at the mobility, at the end of every month, we do the calculation. For example, okay, let me ask this question. So what are some of the mobility that you calculate at the antenatal clinic doing monthly returns? Those who are working at the antenatal clinic.
Madam,
Yes.
please,
Please kindly put up your hands. All right. Anemia. Who again? What are some of the mobilities that we calculate at the antenatal clinic? Okay. Please, all those who are typing for me in the chat box. Faustina, I'm following from the chat box also, if you have a very bad network.
Syphilis.
Okay. Syphilis. Good. Letitia.
Sister, please. HIV/AIDS.
All right. Rita.
Sister, I was going to say HIV, but when she mentioned, I lowered my hand.
Okay. All right. So you are all right. And you know that at the end of the month, we do that calculation to check what is happening. So remember, we are not doing anything different from what we have been doing in the world. So let's continue. Now that we know some of the common mobilities during pregnancy, therefore, what is maternal morbidity? Maternal morbidity is a medical complication in women caused by pregnancy, labor, and then delivery. Medical complications. So what are some of the medical complications? My sisters were mentioned during pregnancy, anemia, labor, somebody mentioned labor, the medical complication that can occur during labor. Somebody mentioned some of and PPH. Then, or delivery, somebody mentioned pregnancy, anemia, malaria, HIV, delivery. Somebody also mentioned eclampsia. Somebody mentioned PPH. I heard somebody mentioning PPH also. And then, what are some of the medical complications? And remember, I always say the mobilities, if we are able to manage it well, it will not end in mortality. But if we are not able to manage the medical complication well, then it will end in maternal mortality. Therefore, mobility rates refer to the rate of incidence of a diseases and then the prevalence of a diseases in a certain population. So it's referred to the rate of incidence of a disease or the prevalence of a disease. So we are going to look at the incidence of a disease and then the prevalence of a disease in a given population. Now, what is the incidence? We said it refers to the incidence of a disease and then the prevalence of a disease. The incidence of the disease refers to the risk of developing a particular disease during a given period of time. So what are your risks when you are pregnant? What are some of your risks of you developing certain condition within a specific period of time? Yes, what are some of the risks? Can we get anybody? Deborah, please stop writing on my screen. All right, so you said incidence rates refer to the risk of developing a particular disease during a given period of time. So what are some of the risks that increase the pregnant woman chances of getting a specific disease during pregnancy, which can result in mortality? All right, so I have the first person, Aggie.
Sir, good morning. Please, family history of a certain disease could predispose a woman to it when pregnant.
So, for example,
HPT.
HPT.
Yes, sister.
HPT, hypertension, or
yes, please.
hypertensive disorders. Because HPT in pregnancy. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. Kasim, we have the same people who answer questions every day.
Previous history of a particular condition in pregnancy. Okay. Previous history of a particular condition in pregnancy.
Such as, can you mention the condition?
Such as pregnancy-induced diabetes. Previous history of anemia in pregnancy can predispose one to getting it in the subsequent pregnancies.
Yes. Okay, so all those who are typing for me in the chat box, that's good. Faiza.
High maternal age and then grand multiparity.
Grand multiparity will increase your risk of getting PPH. Okay. Yes. The next person, Letitia.
Sister, please, infections.
So what will increase your risk of getting infection? You see, incidence rate talk about the risk of developing a particular disease. So what will increase the pregnant woman, her risk of getting infection? All right, Faustina.
Yes, sister. Multiple pregnancy.
Okay, so multiple pregnancy will increase her risk of getting.
Sister, to increase your risk of getting HPT.
Getting?
HPT, pregnancy-induced hypertension.
Okay. So if you say pregnancy-induced hypertension, it's not HPT. Please, let's take note of the difference. Because it looked like this morning, a lot of people have been using HPT. We don't have that. If we are talking about the hypertensive disorders, fine. Because remember, we have chronic hypertensive hypertension, we have PIH, we have preeclampsia and those things. Okay. All right. So Benis.
Sister, please, obesity.
You said?
Obesity.
Obesity will increase your risk of getting
hypertension in pregnancy and diabetes in pregnancy.
Gestational diabetes. Okay. Cassie.
Sister, please, pre-existing medical conditions such as HIV can predispose one to getting infection.
And hypertension.
Yes.
Oh, Martha.
Yes, sister, please, lifestyle. Lifestyle can predispose you to diabetes and even malaria, if you like, if you're fond of staying outside for long and wearing dark clothes in pregnancy.
Yes, dear. Yes, ma'am.
Sister, please, I said lifestyle. Hello.
Yes. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay, so I have the last person. Had to win.
Yes, sister. Please.
This is the first time. Is it the first time of answering question? Had to win.
Yes, I think for your class, this is the very first time.
Okay. Because the name is not all right. Had to win. All right. You want to win hearts for God, right? Or for the maternity, or you win the hearts of pregnant women. All right. So we are listening.
Sister, please, during pregnancy, they become vulnerable to infections because their pregnancy subjects them to immunosuppression.
All right, so low immunity. That's somebody asked that question, and I wanted her to add. And for example, if the pregnant woman is not sleeping in the mosquito net, it increases her risk of getting malaria. Or if the pregnant woman is not taking nutritious diet, it's increased her risk of getting anemia in pregnancy. Okay, all right. So we are looking at the incidence rate. So this is the formula. The formula is the incidence rate is the number of new cases over the total population at risk. So if we want to calculate the incidence of, for example, the incidence of anemia at the antenatal clinic, is the number of new cases of anemia you are getting over the total population at risk of getting the anemia. And here our total population at risk will be the pregnant women, because we are talking about the pregnant women. Are you with me? Over a specific period of time, multiply by 100,000. Multiply by 100,000. So we have the number of new cases. And so another example. So we have another example of the incidence rate to be the number of new cases that you are getting. So for example, another example is, for example, today is an antenatal clinic. All the pregnant women who reported at the antenatal clinic, maybe their total population is 300. Then out of those who reported at the antenatal clinic, 20 of them tested positive for malaria in pregnancy. So the 20 who tested positive for malaria in pregnancy becomes your new cases for today. Now, another example is at the same antenatal clinic, you have today 300 pregnant women reported at the antenatal clinic. And out of the 300 pregnant women who reported at the antenatal clinic, you have their vital signs was checked, their blood pressure was checked. Please, today the noise is too much. Today the noise is too much. Oh, today there is worse. Today is worse. Today is the noise is too much. Please. So like I was saying, for example, you have 300 pregnant women or 400 pregnant women reporting at the antenatal clinic. Then out of them, their blood pressure was checked. Out of the 300 women, you have 10 of them with positive protein in urine, and then a blood pressure above 140/90. So today, the new cases of preeclampsia or PIH that you are getting becomes your new cases over the total population at risk, those who reported, because they are all pregnant women and they are all at risk. Multiply by 100,000. So that is the formula. I'm leaving the formula for 1 minute and then we will solve an example. Okay. So let's move on to the next example. Let's try our hands on. Now we are using COVID-19. Now you all remember when the COVID-19 came, I think in 2020, you will get up and they will tell you the number of new cases of COVID-19 today is 10. Do you remember? Okay. So when we talk about the incidence, as I think during that period, we were using incidence and the prevalence. So those who tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, they will become the prevalence, old cases. So the incidence rate normally talk or captures only new cases of a condition. So here we have an exercise, and then let's try our hands on this exercise for 2 minutes, and then we proceed to the next exercise. So please send your answer to me in the chat box. Hello, please, can we get someone to solve it for us? All those who are solving it in the chat box, we're done. Okay. Please, can somebody solve the question for us? Anybody to solve it for us? Hello, okay, so I have Sewa.
Yes, sister.
All right, so you read for us and you give us the formula, then you fit it inside.
Okay. So the question says the population of City Gold is 980,000 people at risk of developing COVID-19 virus. After 1 year, you find that 870 of those people have tested positive for the viral. Calculate the incidence rate of COVID-19. And we are seeing that the incidence rate is number of new cases over total population at risk, then times over a period of time times 100,000. So in our scenario, someone is making noise. In our scenario, 870 is the new cases, and then the total population at risk is 980,000. Then times the period, the over a period is 1 year. Then times the 100,000. So when you do the calculations, you are going to get 88.8 per 100,000 population at risk. Incidence rate, sorry. Hello, sister. Hello. Sister, please, you've muted yourself.
All right, so please, the person who is solving it for us, I think your network was Sewa.
Sister.
Yes.
So I was saying that the formula for incidence rate is the number of new cases all over total population at risk, then times over a period of time times the multiplier, which is 100,000. So when we take a number of new cases, we have 870, then all over the 980,000 people who are at risk, then times the over a period of time, we're given 1 year, then times the multiplier. So when you do the calculations, you are going to get 88.
No, the number of new cases over. I want the denominator.
Okay,
please, can we get?
The denominator is 980,000.
Okay, so the denominator is the number of what? What is the formula?
The denominator is the total population at risk.
Good. Okay.
So the population at risk, per our question, we have 980,000.
All right.
So it's 870 over the 980,000. Then they said times. So times over a period, over a time period. And the time period given us here was 1 year. Then you times it by the multiplier. The multiplier is 100,000. So it's going to be 870 all over.
What will be the answer? The
answer will be 89 per 100,000 incidence rates.
No.
89. Sorry, 89.
Hello.
Hello, sister.
Thank you very much. Can I get another person, please? Thank you, Sewa. Anybody? Okay, thank you, Sewa. We are most grateful. The next person, please. I think Sewa is having a problem with the network. Please, can we get another person to solve it for us? Okay, Agatha.
Yes, sister.
Yes, yes. So let's go.
So, sister, we said the incidence rate is the number of new cases over a period of time divided by the total population. And here our new cases is
total population at risk. Good.
So our new cases was is given to us as 870. And the total population at risk here is 980.
Then we have the population of Agatha.
Sister.
I said, please, the denominator is the total population at risk.
Risk, yes.
All right, so what is your final answer?
My final answer was 88.77. So you get 88.8.
What will be your final answer?
88.8 per 1,000 population incidence rates.
Please be careful of your. Okay, thank you very much. I think somebody hands is up. Fauzia.
Yes, sister. I think if we want the population
Agatha, please, can you mute yourself? Okay. Fauzia. Fauzia. Okay. Today the network is disturbing some people. Fauzia, please, you have put yourself. We are not getting you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I was muted.
Okay, so
I'm saying that now that we've had people who have tested positive out of the people at risk, we will deduct that 870 from the 980,000 people.
No, that is not what I'm talking about. My problem is the way you end your answer. That is my problem.
Okay.
It's not, I'm not having a problem with the answer, which is because a lot of people are doing the calculation in the chat box. But how you are ending per the 100,000, and I have taught you how to end your answer, and that is what you are getting it wrong, but not the answer. Okay, Christian.
Madam, please. The final answer will be 88 per 100,000 incidents.
No, we are calculating for incidents, so you can't end your answer in an incident. Okay, people have gotten it in the chat box. All right, so please, Christian, can you come again? Christian.
Yes. Because what are we calculating? It's not incidence rate.
Yes, so you can't end your answer in incidence rate because that is what we are calculating. So always, can you let somebody come in? Ahmed. Sharifa.
Yes, sister.
Yes.
Please, the answer will be 89.89 per 100,000 of the total population at risk.
Oh gosh, network. We are with you. We can hear you.
Yes, it's 88. It was 88.8. So I'll round it up to 89 per 100,000 of the total population at risk.
Good. Please remember, I always tell you that when you are ending your answer, your ending is very, very important. Your answer may be right, but your ending may be wrong. Because we said you should always look at the denominator and end your answer using the denominator. Okay, I think all those who are typing in the chat box, you are getting it. Good. So please always look at the denominator. Then I end your answer using the denominator. Okay. Thank you very much. All right, so we are going, so I think somebody, I was talking about give you a question and I gave you an example like cervical cancer. Then the cervical cancer, I can give you the total population of females in the community. Or I can give you the total population of females. Then I can also give you a total population of males. Okay, so if we're not careful, you go and add the two population. And we all know that the males are not at risk of getting cervical cancer because they don't have cervix. Okay, so please take note that the population at risk, you look for the population who is at risk of getting that specific condition. All right. So we are going to the prevalence rate, and it's the number of cases. When we talk about the prevalence rate, we are talking about the number of cases, both new and old.
Please, my hand is up.
Please, I'll pick questions later, okay? So please, let me get there, all right? Maybe I'm even coming to answer your question. So please take time. So prevalence rate, we are talking about the number of cases, both new and old cases, within a given population in a defined period. In a defined period. So for example, when we talk about the prevalence rate to be, let's take example, anemia in pregnancy. Then you are asked to calculate the prevalence rate of anemia in your hospital, anemia in pregnancy. Now here, you know, if they ask you to calculate the prevalence rate, you add both new cases and old cases. So you add those who tested positive yesterday to those who are testing positive today. So those who tested positive for anemia or those who reported at the antenatal clinic with anemia yesterday, they are the old cases. And then those who are now getting anemia today, they are the new cases. So you add both old and new cases together, and then you get the prevalence rate. Another example is when the COVID-19 came, okay, 2020. They will tell you the prevalence rate, the old cases and the new cases combined, they'll give you the statistics. So for example, today, the number of people who are who has tested positive for COVID-19 is 20. Then they will now tell you that, so now the total population of people who are having malaria, COVID-19 in Ghana, for example, is 50. So it means they have added the new cases to the old cases. So if we're asked to calculate the prevalence rate of eclampsia in your facility, it will be those who tested positive or those who reported with eclampsia or those who were diagnosed with eclampsia last month, yesterday, are the old cases together with those who are getting the eclampsia. So for example, if I give you an assignment that go and calculate last month was September, the cases of, go and calculate the prevalence rate of, for example, eclampsia in your facility for me last month and then this month, then it's been last month, those who reported and they were diagnosed of having preeclampsia or eclampsia, they are the old cases. And then this month, the number of cases that you are recording, they are the new cases. Okay, so prevalence will capture both new and then old cases. And we do that within a specific period of time. All right, so I think somebody's hands was up to ask questions. So let me go and then pick that person. Was it a Hartwin?
Yes, sister.
Yes, yeah.
Please, I just wanted to seek clarification on the example we solved earlier. And the sister raised the concern, an opinion that we have to deduct the confirmed positive cases from the population at risk. So I just wanted to ask if that is it.
No. You see, when you do the calculation, you don't have to deduct anything. I was looking at, how you end your answer. Somewhere I ending the answer per 1,000 incidence rate. No, you should always look at the denominator and then you use it and your answer. But what you should know that incidence rate always capture the new cases. So if I ask you to go and calculate the new cases of malaria in pregnancy for me this month, you are not going to add those who had those pregnant women who got malaria last month. No. Do you get it?
Okay.
All right. All right. So, Rebecca.
Yes, sister. Thank you. Please, with the prevalence rate, you are saying that if you ask us to calculate like September, we have to take September's data and then add this month's data. So I want to find out, is it not that the month has to end before we'll be able to get the total number of that people at risk and add it to the September thing?
Yes, normally we do it at the end of the month. That is why, when I started, I said we normally do it at the end of monthly reports. Some can do it in a year. So for example, I can even ask you that go and calculate the prevalence rate of malaria in pregnancy for me last year. Okay, so we normally do it at the end of the month, then you calculate. But if I ask you that, for example, I need the incidence rate of malaria, in pregnancy for today is 15th. Okay, today is 15th. So I need the incidence rate of malaria in pregnancy in your facility this month. Then it will be half of the month, isn't it? Because the month has not yet ended. So that is what you are going to calculate for me. But at the end of the month too, you can do the calculation. At the end of the month, maybe sometimes some of the facility, they don't have to wait. For example, in cases like COVID-19, or in cases like PPH, or cases like preeclampsia, if we're having so many people coming together, you don't have to wait for the end of the month before you go and give education. It will be too late. By the time you wait for the end of the month, maybe, but mostly it is done at the end of the month. Right? You have to wait for the end of the month before you go and give education on prevention of anemia during pregnancy. No. Sometimes you need a data to take an action, and it can be done at a short period to enable you to take a decision on what to do to save the life of the pregnant women.
Thank you, Sister Boahemaa.
Rebecca, please, do you get it?
Yes, please, Sister
Rebecca,
Boahemaa.
please, do you get it? All right.
Yes, please, Sister Boahemaa.
Okay. So some of the cases are very dangerous. You don't have to wait till the end of the month. So that is it. So we said it captures both new cases and then what do we call? New and then old cases, or new and pre-existing cases of a specific disease during a given period of time over the total population during the same period, multiplied by 10 raised to the power n. Okay. So that is the formula. So I think that brings us to, we were supposed to finish this slide last week, but we were not able to finish. So we are going back. We are left with 30 minutes to go. We are going back to solve this question. class discussion on this question. We are
Sister,
going
please,
back.
I have a question.
We are going back to solve the question. And we are going back to look at the maternal mortality. I think last week, we started with the maternal mortality. So we will look at it again, and then we call it again a day. But please, all the group members, if we don't present when we are supposed to present, it will go against the group, because we have 19 groups that we are going to capture. We have 19 groups that we are going to take their presentation. And each of the groups should try and present. So please, what I'm going to do now is that latest by Wednesday, all the groups from group 1 to group 19 should kindly send me their work. Latest by Wednesday. And let me look at the Wednesday. The date is Wednesday. The date is 18th October. So please, everybody from group 1 to group 19, nobody should be left out. All right, I think some people said they have a question. Let me pick them and then we do. What I'm going to ask is, have you ever recorded stillbirth in your facility? Stillbirth in your facility? And if yes, tell us what happened. Don't mention the name of the hospital, but share with us what happened. We were supposed to do that last week. And have you ever recorded any, apart from the stillbirth, any maternal mortality in your facility? Tell us what happened. So Kasim, let me pick those who have questions. Kasim.
Please, my question has to do with the prevalence rate. The 10 raised to the power n, what is it? What does the n stands for?
Kasim. Please, can somebody help Kasim? The 10 raised to the power n.
100,000.
Can somebody help Kasim?
100,000.
When we say 10, okay, Christian, all right. When we say 10 raised to the power n, what is the meaning?
100,000.
100,000.
100,000 or 1,000 or 100.
Okay, can you break it down for her to understand? Christian, can you break it down for her to understand?
I said 100,000 or 1,000 or 100, but in this case, we are using 100,000.
Okay. Esther, thank you.
Please, it's the same number raising the power to the same number. That means 100 raised to the power n means 100 by 100, 100 times 100, or 10 times, if the number is 10, it's 10 times 10.
Which number is 10?
I mean, the 10 raised to the power number n. That any number raised to the power n, meaning that same number raised to the power same number. That means 10 times or any number that is present, maybe let's say 20 raised to the power n, meaning 20 times 20.
Okay. All right, so the person who asked the question, I hope you have been answered. So in this case, we are talking about maternal morbidity. So okay,
Sister, please, I wanted to ask that all the new pre-existing cases of a specific disease.
You won't let us help somebody ask a question. Or the person is okay. The person who asked the question.
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I
wanted to ask that the prevalence rates, they're all new cases and pre-existing case. Are you adding them together? Or you are subtracting?
The prevalence rate.
Yes.
Yes, you add both new cases and old cases together. You add them before you can get the prevalence rates.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Esther. Okay. Deborah.
Sister,
Debbie.
please.
Yes, sister. Sister, please, can we get the formula for the prevalence with just a second, please?
All right. Okay, so please, let's do the class discussion. Have you ever recorded stillbirth in your facility? Tell us your experience. Which of them? Was it macerated stillbirth? Was it fresh stillbirth? And then what do you think it went wrong? Let us know. And then what do you think are some of the recommendations? We are all learning. Please, you don't mention your name. Don't mention the name of the facility, okay? Then have you ever recorded maternal mortality? Please, nobody should attack anybody. We are all going to learn. And what do you think went wrong and what is the way forward or any recommendation? Okay, so we are here. Debbie. Hello.
Sister, thank you with the formula. Thank you very much.
All right, please, we are sharing with us. Share with us.
Okay, sister.
Hello, sister. Hello, sister.
Yes, dear, Kasim. Okay, so
No, this
Kasim
is
is not
Lydia.
ready. This is Lydia. Lydia.
Sister, please, did you just said neonatal fetal death?
Yes. Have you
I
ever
didn't hear the
recorded
question.
some and then share with us? Any maternal mortality you will share with us?
Mine wasn't maternal mortality, but the fetus rather died in the uterus.
Yes, it's still stillbirth. We are looking at stillbirth. We are looking at all those things that we have been talking about. Okay, what we could have done to save the life of the client.
Okay, and the second one, so the baby died after delivery. So let me first say the baby dying after delivery. I want to share that one first. Hello, sister. Hello, sister. Please, with this one, the mother did not attend a antenatal clinic at our facility. She used to attend it at one of the cheap compounds. And then during labor, she came to our facility and then the midwife wanted to deliver her. So on observation, the midwife first said that the abdomen looks big. But according to the pregnant woman too, in the last trimester that she's supposed to take a scan for us to know the fetal weight and everything, or to finalize the pregnancy for any scan. So the midwife wasn't sure of the fetal weight, but she observed that the abdomen was big and she decided to deliver. So during the delivery, the woman was fully dilated and then she couldn't push. They were helping the woman to deliver, but she couldn't deliver. So when the head was first delivered, the baby could not come out. There was shoulder dystocia. So the midwife called on one male guy to come and help. She couldn't pull the baby out. So the midwife asked the male nurse to put one of his hand inside the mother's vagina, the woman's vagina, to break one of the baby's the baby's arm in order to allow the passage of the baby or to help the baby come out. So we did that by breaking or causing fracture on the hand, and then still we were feeling or facing very difficult to deliver the baby again. So she has to push the hand there to break the second arm again. So after that, we were able to deliver the baby. So when the baby comes out, the baby was 4.5, very large or big baby. The baby was very big, and when we weighed, it was 4.5. So with the shoulder dystocia and everything,
At the end of the day, resuscitating the baby died. And the mother too started bleeding. So we realized that if the woman had come to ANC or had gone to ANC earlier for everything, scan and everything to be done, to be sure of whatever that will be done on her and the last day, the baby wouldn't have died. And I also realized that if the midwife, when the mother came in, she was not 10 cm full dilated. Hello? When the pregnant woman came in, she wasn't 10 cm fully dilated. So I was thinking that the midwife should have referred, she was 4 cm by then. So I was thinking that the midwife should have referred the woman for scan to confirm everything before she did her delivery, but she didn't do that. By trying to maneuver or manipulate and bring the baby out, causing the death of the baby. Like if the mother has been referred, like CS will be done on the mother to save the mother and the baby. Thank you. Sister, please, I'm done.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Fazia, let's share with us. Please, you don't mention the name of the hospital.
Okay, sister. This case is a 2-in-1 case. There was a client who visited a facility around 36 weeks for antenatal services, and it was detected that there's intrauterine fetal death. So the mother was counseled and informed of the situation, and she was admitted to be managed. But then the woman denied that her baby was not dead. And she called her husband, who is a minister of God. So both of them believe that the fetus was not dead, and they are going to pray about it. So she refused admission and went home. She actually she was admitted, but she went home against medical advice, with the intention that she's going to pray with her husband, nothing happened to their baby. So she went home, a week passed, then the second week, she was rushed back to the hospital. Apparently, a male church member, the husband is not in town, he traveled, he's in another city. But then a male church member who checks on her once in a while, he said he called her. She couldn't answer the phone. After some time, he called again. She still didn't answer her phone. So he decided to go to the house to check on her. When he went, he realized that the woman was unconscious. So he brought her to the facility, fortunately to that same facility. When they came, she was in a very bad state. So she was quickly prepared and sent to the theater. But then when they went, even when they even passed catheter, no urine, nothing came. The woman was pale. She was just, all vital signs were just dropping. So they rushed and did the CS for it. When she came, they called the husband, and that time he said he was coming, and he even wanted them to wait for him to come first, to enter board car from that town and come first to come and pray before they enter theater. But then the other church member around told him there's a severity of the woman's condition, and that the way they see things, if things are not done fast, the woman is likely to die. So when they went to theater, they opened up and baby was totally macerated, collapsed. The mother's system was also failing. Kidneys have failed, everything had failed. So the medical team did everything they could do, but they lost the woman. Right after the procedure, the woman passed on. So with this issue, it was detected.
First, if I understand, what was the diagnosis? Was it DIC?
Yes. DIC had set in, even the kidneys have failed. There was kidney failure. She was just in a deplorable state. Everything was far beyond. So when they presented the case for auditing, they just said, when the team looked at the case, they said, this case, there's nothing anybody could have done about it because she came in a terrible state. Another one too, she lost only the baby. She reported to the labor ward. In labor, when she was assessed, she was 6 cm dilated. Cervix was 6 cm dilated, but fetal heart was not heard. Fundal height was 42, and she's also gravida 4 para 3 SVDs. So doctor was informed. He came and did a bedside scan and also confirmed.
And you said the fundal height is?
It was 42. Yes, so doctor was informed. Yes.
And he was a para 3?
Yes.
And she came in labor?
Yes, 6 cm dilated.
So what happened? Fundal height 42.
Yes, so the issue was reported to the doctor. Fortunately, at that time, the obstetrician was around. When he was informed, he came and used the bedside scan and confirmed that fetal heart was absent. But this woman,
at what time was the client referred to see the doctor with a fundal height of 42?
Immediately she entered. Unfortunately, she entered into my hands. So immediately I finished
in labor.
Yes, in labor.
So where were the woman? Where was she attending antenatal clinic?
Sister, that is our problem. I will come there. The fault is ours anyway. So this woman, when we saw that incident, we decided to. I personally asked her if she's having a history of diabetes because she was around 37 weeks. So I wasn't expecting the baby to be that big at 37, I think 37 weeks one day. I wasn't expecting the baby to be that big. She told me that they once told her her blood sugar was high. I asked her if she was kept on any medication. She told me no. So by that time, we were not having the strips to run to test the blood sugar, the glucose level. So these were all included in the information we presented to the doctor. So immediately we called him. He came. Even before we wrote our notes, we called him to give him present the case to him, and he said, "Oh, she has delivered 3 times per vaginum. She'll be able to make it. So we should monitor and deliver her SVD." We said, okay. So labor progressed into 2nd stage. We had a tough time. About 30 minutes or so before we were able to deliver the head. Before the head even crowned, we suffered. After crowning, we gave episiotomy, and the head came. The head was delivered by
When did you give you gave the episiotomy after crowning?
Yes, when the head crowned, we gave the episiotomy, then delivered the head.
So when are you expected to give episiotomy? Is it after crowning or before crowning?
When the head crowns, that's the best time to give the episiotomy.
Oh, and why do you think so?
Because around that time,
cover inside.
How do I even put it?
Sister, please
if you give the episiotomy before crowning, the woman is likely to bleed before you even deliver the baby. She might bleed a lot. So you wait when there's crowning.
Fozia, somebody wanted to help. Hold on, don't leave us. We will come back to you. Stay on. Please, the person around.
The person who said, yeah, sister, I just wanted to say something about as to why the episiotomy is best given when the head crowns, because as at that time the head no longer resides between contractions. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, so please, we are listening. The person who said this is what you wanted to say. Hello. Okay, she's gone. Hello. Oh.
Okay, sister, she said it.
You said
she said that it is because the head no longer recedes after crowning. That is why it is the best time to give episiotomy. That's what she said.
She said what? I couldn't get her. Can you repeat it?
She said that the head no longer recedes after crowning. That is why it is the best time to give episiotomy.
So the question I'm asking is, what is crowning?
With the crowning, it is the stage where the head no longer recedes or goes back.
Which head? Which part of the head?
The vault.
Hey, midwives, please, we are talking about, please come around and let's discuss. It's not only for there. When do we give episiotomy? And for there saying after crowning. And I'm asking, what is crowning of the fetal head? If you don't come, I'll start mentioning names. So for there, we are listening. For there.
Yes, sister.
What is crowning?
I'm saying that when the vault is out, like when the biparatal diameter descends.
Diameter.
Yes,
when the
where it descends.
Descended the perineum. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, please.
And what is the diameter for the what is the diameter for the biparatal?
I didn't hear you.
The diameter for the biparatal diameter. What is the diameter?
It's 9.5 approximately.
Okay, so what is the diameter for the bitemporal?
I don't know, 8.
Hey, who said 9?
It's 8 though.
What is the diameter for the bitemporal? So you see, that is why I'm asking you, because you have gotten it right. You said crowning is whereby you all know the biparatal diameter had distended the perineum, and that is the largest diameter, and you are not giving episiotomy. So it means you are too late, because we have 2 diameters. The biparatal diameter is the 9.5, and that's the largest diameter. It has distended the perineum, and we are coming to the smallest diameter. And you are now coming to give episiotomy. So you should give the episiotomy before the biparatal diameter, which is the largest, has distended the perineum.
Yes. Then these books will kill us all.
Madam, please, we've always no need to be after the head crown, so.
But then the books will kill us all.
For which book are you using? Because I have all of them here, so that I pick and give me the page, so that you don't. No, when we say crowning, other books will say when the occiput has escaped, and when the largest diameter, we have 2 diameter, biparatal diameter, and then the bitemporal diameter. So if we are giving the episiotomy when the largest diameter has already distended the perineum, let's think about it, and we're not giving episiotomy, then what is the essence? Midwives, okay. We are discussing. Please come on board. Where is my sebaverals? All right.
Sister, please pick my...
Hello, sister. Sister.
Yes, I'm listening.
Please, my opinion is that it has escaped the perineum, but it has not pushed out of the vagina or the vulva. Yes.
You say it has escaped the perineum.
Oh, it has escaped. Sorry, wait.
So you see, this is an interesting discussion. Let's just all come on board. You said that discuss escape the perineum. But the vagina come before the perineum. All right. I'm listening to that. I have time for that. And I have the severals here. All right. So the person, please come again.
So at that point, at that point, when you see this thing, it cannot come out of the vulva.
Which one is the vulva?
It will be too tight. The head will be too tight on it. That's why you will give the episiotomy. But if you check and the woman is rooming, you will not give the episiotomy.
So Asana, when do we give episiotomy? Is it before?
After for me, it's after the head has crowned, because at that point.
Is crowning? And what is crowning?
You said?
What is crowning?
And that's what we have explained earlier.
So explain your own. I'm listening. What is crowning?
It's when the largest diameter has escaped the perineum.
So why are you giving the episiotomy when the largest diameter that can cause has distended the perineum?
This one, unless we revisit our Sylvia Veras.
Yes.
Sister, please. I think when the largest perimeter has escaped the vagina, so it will crowning takes place.
So what is the largest vagina? Has escaped the vagina? Are you sure? The vagina to where? And what is the largest diameter? So why are you giving episiotomy when the largest diameter has distended the perineum? Then what is the extent? That's the question I'm asking.
Sister.
Somebody is answering me.
Sister.
Yes, I see it.
Please, I think we give episiotomy when you realize the head is about to crown. Because when the head is about to crown, you see a sign. So you don't let it crown completely before cutting. So when you realize the head is about to crown, then you now give the episiotomy.
Yes, we know that. We know you are right. But I want them to tell me, because we have the diameter that distended the perineum. We have the biparietal diameter. It may come with the suboccipitobrachmatic, and they are all 9.5, 9.5. Okay. Then we have the biparietal diameter, which is ACM. So what is crowning? Because we said crowning in the second stage of labor, crowning of the head is said to have occurred when the wide biparietal diameter of the fetal scar has distended the perineum, and the fetal head no longer goes back between contractions. And you are now giving episiotomy when the internal test has already occurred. That is why it is very important for midwife to maintain. Oh, somebody is disturbing us. That is why it is very important for midwives. That is why it is very important for midwives to maintain fleshing of the fetal head, so that the suboccipitobrachmatic diameter of 9.5 distend the perineum, and the head is what? Delivered by extension. As the largest suboccipitofrontal diameter is freeze, do you understand what I'm saying? So that is why I'm asking you the question. You said you give episiotomy after crowning, and crowning is whereby the biparietal diameter, which is the largest diameter of 9.5, and the suboccipitobrachmatic has distended the perineum. He didn't say the vagina, he said the perineum, and that is crowning. So it has come out from the perineum already, and you are not giving episiotomy. Even midwife, let's be practical here. Even if the head crowns and you are giving episiotomy, how it's not comfortable.
It's not even possible.
If you look at the situation, you are supposed to give the mother xylocaine. You are supposed to give the mother xylocaine and wait for about some seconds or minutes, and make sure that the xylocaine has taken effect before you give the episiotomy. But if the head has crowned, the biparietal diameter, the largest diameter, has distended the perineum, the place is full. Why are you even going to give your xylocaine to give your episiotomy? That is why sometimes you give episiotomy, but when the baby is delivered, you find out that there are other tests. Sometimes the client can tell differently from your episiotomy, and you find out that your episiotomy that you gave even doesn't have any effects.
It's
Please
true.
come on board and let's discuss.
It's true,
So,
sister.
madam, what are we now doing? Is it that the episiotomy is no good or?
We are not saying that episiotomy is not good, but you're not giving it at the right time.
It's true. It's true. What you are saying is very true.
Because by the time the largest diameter has distended the perineum, internal tear or injury has already occurred. The mother has tear already. So even if you give your episiotomy, you will find out that after delivery, when you inspect, there are lacerations, there are tears, and even if it will have been better for you not to give the episiotomy. Because if the head has crown and the perineum is full, even making the incision will be very difficult. So please, let's you can bring it on board. There is any other way out. If you think maybe what I'm saying, you have. It's not like, you see, maybe we learned it and we didn't understand. Because others will say crowning is when the occiput has escaped. It has already escaped. Then why are you giving episiotomy? It has escaped the perineum. So why are you giving episiotomy?
Boahemaa.
Yes, dear.
So in that case, can we say during crowning instead of after crowning? Because the time we give, if we know, for me, if I know I'm going to give episiotomy, after my assessment, if I know I'm going to give episiotomy, I give the lidocaine. I give the lidocaine earlier so that you can give it some time to work. Then I wait when the head is now coming, not completely crowning, but when I see that the head is coming in that, then within that time, I cut. So if you look at it critically, it is not after crowning per se, but that would be in the process of the crowning, but not completely crowning, because if the head has come out, like you said, you don't need to cut again.
It's not the head, though. If we say the head,
like if the biparietal diameter,
the largest diameter has already distended the perineum, then why
there's no need to cut. So I think maybe we should be using during crowning rather than after crowning, because you make a lot of sense.
That is why I'm asking a practical question that goes in the labor ward. Sometimes if we give the episiotomy when the head has distended the perineum, you find out that after delivery, the mother has other tear. She has tear already. And your episiotomy, you have to suture your episiotomy, go back and suture all those tests, because your episiotomy didn't have any effects on the expulsion of the fetal head. So do we have anybody like that who have experienced what I am saying?
Yes.
Yes, dear.
Please. Yeah, we do experience what you are talking about, but I want to ask a question. That one I think will clear my misunderstanding. Please, so how will you find out that this baby can pass through the mother's vagina if you don't wait till crowning? How will you know that this baby or this client needs episiotomy or doesn't need episiotomy? How will you find out?
Agi, you want to send me back to?
It's because you are telling us that we have to we should give before crowning. That's why.
Assessment of the pelvis outlet. Assessment of the pelvis outlet. And help us. How do we assess the pelvis outlet? There are so many parameters we use to assess the pelvis outlet. In our cervical dilatation, no. You are assessing pelvis outlets. And you should do that antenatally before the woman even come in. We don't use crowning to assess pelvis outlets. Please, so anybody to help?
Sister, hello, sister.
Yes, can we answer Agi's question? Anybody? Let's answer Agi. Okay. So Yes. Is it Alberta? Please, let's answer Aggie. Aggie wanted to know, how do you assess whether the mother will need episiotomy? We are not doing episiotomy, but it came as a result of some of the causes of maternal mortality and then fetal or stillbirth. That is why we are coming into that direction. So we are looking at some of the things we can do to save the life, because if there is a prolonged labor or like we are still with our sister.
Yes, sister. Please,
so
sometimes. Yes, sister.
Yes, dear.
Sister, sometimes when a woman comes in labor and you assess, the period will be very tight. Or some people, when someone has female genital mutilation, so you know that this person will have challenges during delivery. So you assess the perineum. If the perineum is tight, or the person is getting into second stage and you are seeing that the perineum is tight, then you prepare for episiotomy. You don't wait for the head to crown. After crowning, you can't give episiotomy. I had an experience like that. I was preparing to deliver this Fulani woman. She's a primate. Then I said, oh, let me wait small for the head to crown small. Or the time I realized the head had fully crowned, I couldn't even get access into the vagina to give the episiotomy. So I have to just wait for nature to have it course. So I think we should always assess well and then give episiotomy, timely episiotomy. Thank you.
Hello, sister.
Okay, thank you. Yes, dear.
At times, when you give the episiotomy earlier before a complete crowning and there is poor maternal effort, and maybe the client will have to end up at the cesarean section, you see, she'll be bleeding profusely from the episiotomy you've given. So if you don't wait.
So you see, you have to, before you even plan of giving episiotomy, you should assess all those conditions before. Midwives, you should assess all those conditions before you give the episiotomy. If you know the mother has a poor maternal effort, the episiotomy will not help the mother to push. You know, people have the perception that when they give the episiotomy and the mother feels the pain, the sharp pain of cutting, the mother will push. If the mother has a poor maternal effort, the episiotomy that you are giving cannot help the client to push. So you sort that problem out before you give your episiotomy. Please, the person who asked.
Thank you.
Okay. And then I want to, okay, there is another person. It's almost time. I'm projecting a slide for the person who asked the question. The person who asked the question. Are you seeing the slide? How would the person who asked, how will you know?
Yes, sister.
All right. So there was somebody on the line. Can we pick that person and then we call it a day?
Sister, please, I was saying if you do also wait for the complete crowning, that one there, perineum will not be very thin for you to easily give the episiotomy. But if you give it before the crown, you see the perineum will be very thick.
So you see, the problem I have is that you don't even know where the head will be before crowning. The person who is asking the question, where do you think the head will be before crowning? You see, you are taking it, some people are taking it that the head will be still inside the uterus before crowning.
The head will be in the vagina, but not appearing at the perineum.
The head will be at the vagina.
Yeah, but maybe it won't
Which part of the vagina? Which part of the vagina? Please don't take the crowning to be like the head will be far from the perineum. That is why I said if we wait for the head to crown, you even get space to give episiotomy, and you know you even get space to give your how do we call your xylocaine or lidocaine. You will not get even space to give it. And we have midwives who don't give it. They just make the incision. They don't give it. But if you look at the writing, the client will have to sign a consent form. You explain. That is why we do the assessment that this person will need episiotomy from the antenatal assessment. So when they come in labor, you do your VU, you assess. And these are some of the ways they assess. I'm showing you the slide on it, and you can go and read more. So please don't take it that we say give it before crowning. The head will be far away from the perineum. No. This thing that I'm talking about is just a second, so my midwives. It's just a second change, so. Please, are you with me?
Understood. Yes.
It's not anything far away. No. So please, you go and read more. I'm showing you some of the things midwives we can use to access the pelvis outlets. And I know you are seeing the images. Have you seen some of the things? And do we do it to access the pelvis outlets? When the mother comes in labor and we do VE, do we do it?
Mostly no.
Some of them we don't know. Don't know.
So you want to wait and see when the head is tight at the perineum and the mother can push. When the perineum becomes very thin, it's easy for the woman to tear. Because the place is full, so she has tear. There will be internal tear. So this is how we should do your assessment and make sure the client is having adequate pelvis, roomy for the fetal head. So I'm showing you some of the, you go and read more.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think this one was just by the way. So please, when you do the vaginal examination, don't just look for only cervical dilatation and memories, and then the vagina is warm. No, take your time and do your proper assessment. Assess the ischial spine, assess the outlets, and then let us know. That is why we have done the diameters of the pelvis. Please, any other question, because it's time. I want to end the class. So, Fozia, was it Fozia?
Yes, sister. Yes,
so
sister.
You have made us to learn a lot, isn't it?
It is
that
so.
Is why, yes, that is why I like discussion. But please, midwife, you go and read more. Hello, please, you go and read more. Go and read more on when to give, what is the best time to give episiotomy. Then go and learn more on how to assess pelvis outlet to know which of the clients needs episiotomy. Because now episiotomy should not be a routine that everybody that will come in your labor, you give episiotomy. And some midwives, they use the episiotomy to charge the clients. They will tell the client that, Madam, I'll give episiotomy, it's 50 cedis, 60 cedis. So some people, episiotomy is a routine for everybody. No. Do your pelvis assessment and then identify if the client will need episiotomy. Take your time and explain to the client. And if you go in advance, they will tell you that the client should sign a consent form and agree to it. And please, before you give your episiotomy, give the client analgesia, the xylocaine or lidocaine that we have. You give it and you wait. So now let me ask you, if the head crown, how are you, after the head has crowned and the perineum is full, how are you going to give your xylocaine? You are supposed to give it, wait for some few minutes, and then you test it. And you ask the client, do you feel any pain? Before you give it. So if you are there, and my sister, now things are changing. If you give anybody episiotomy without giving it, and the person can see you, or you didn't ask of the consent, the person, the moment the mother will hear, pet, you have cats. Pet, we can. Without informing her, without giving her consent, you have just given it like that. The person can take you on. So you are supposed to explain, let her consent to the episiotomy. Explain how it is going to be done. Before you will start giving your episiotomy, please don't just give it like that. You have given episiotomy. And some midwife will end up telling you that you are helping the client. Mami kawanutum na mebuao. Mami kawanutum na mebuao. What is saying? You are not helping her. That is your job. You see? So I want to end the class.
All right.
So first, we are very grateful, but let's look at the way we midwives, we can save life.
Thank you.
And then please, let's keep on reading. And as we are practicing in the world, let's look at some of the things that is happening. So if you are somebody who will give episiotomy, and for the episiotomy, you have to go and suture another pair. Ask yourself that question. Why am I going back? It means you give it too late. If the episiotomy is there, but you have to suture other pairs, then it means your episiotomy came late. And please, midwife, when you enter into the vagina, do the assessments. It's not only cervical dilatation that we are looking for and the memories. There are other assessments that we need to do. And they are easy to do. So please, let's start practicing it. There was somebody hands up. Beauty. Beauty.
Yes, sister. And please, it's about the consent form you are talking about. I wanted to find out at what time do we have to? Is it that when the clients come to deliver as part of our preparation to assist her in birth that we give that? I mean, we inform her, or sometimes or maybe in second stage when you realize that things are not way. So if you don't
no. Second stage, you are too late. When the mother comes and you are doing your assessment, it's part of your assessment.
Okay.
It's part of your assessment. That is why I said when you do the VU, if you assess pelvis outlets, and before you even give your episiotomy, check for the powers. And what are the powers? Check for the powers. The maternal effort to push, is it there? If the mother doesn't have an effort to push and you give the episiotomy, the client will bleed. So check for the powers. And we have done the 4 P's in labor. The powers, the passengers, and the passage. So please check for the powers. The powers is very important. Okay, so I think midwife save life. Let's continue to save the mother's life.